Paddy the Baddy Pimblett versus Jordan the Sus Weirdo Leavitt takes place this weekend at UFC London, and I can't wait for this matchup in the lightweight division. There is so much on the line here, and I'm not just talking about Paddy Pimblett taking a little bit of a jump up in competition against Jordan Leavitt. This is, of course, a massive matchup. Paddy Pimblett, a big name. If he wins against Jordan Leavitt in London again, the scenes at London last time when Paddy won, he blew up in popularity, and if he wins against Jordan Leavitt this time as well, he's only going to grow in popularity again and start calling out better competition. And if he wins this one, it is on to, like, in my opinion, the Jim Millers of the lightweight division, and I feel like that's what he's going to go in the direction of after this matchup. We'll talk about what's next for the winner of this one at the end of this video. However, this is not just a matchup with so much on the line in terms of hype coming in and hype that could be lost afterwards. There is so much on the line in this matchup because whoever wins is going to do something ungodly, okay, to the person that they defeat. They are going to do something that God will frown upon to the person that loses, okay? If Jordan Leavitt wins, he has said that he will be twerking on the corpse of Paddy Pimblett if he does get this one done. And I can only imagine the absolute chaos if Paddy Pimblett, the hometown favourite, the home country favourite, of course he's from Liverpool, he's fighting in London, but Paddy Pimblett, the home country favourite, with all of the hype, potential future UFC superstar, shoots a bad takedown, gets dash choked, gets choked out from it, and then Jordan Leavitt, on the unconscious corpse of Paddy Pimblett, busses it down, okay? And starts twerking and does a bunch of other ungodly stuff that he may do. I can only imagine they better have riot shields. They better have some really strong umbrellas as well. They better form like a Roman phalanx around Jordan Leavitt as he leaves the arena afterwards, because that is going to cause an absolute riot if it goes down that way. And it truly will, in my opinion, completely end the hype for Paddy Pimblett. I don't think you can recover from that. Even if he does win 2 more, he still won't recover from it. He still won't recover from it at all. But I do believe that Paddy Pimblett is going to beat Jordan Leavitt, and he said if he does beat Leavitt, he's going to teabag him afterwards, and that will be a very viral moment as well. So I'm really looking forward to this either way. I do want Paddy Pimblett to win. He's a UK superstar. He could be a massive name in the UFC. I think if he wins this one, he'll be back on the McGregor pay-per-view card in like December at the end of the year. He'd blow the roof off the place there as well. That'd be a huge matchup. Maybe do McGregor Masvidal in the main event, and then have Paddy Pimblett in the main card opening spot against Jim Miller. That'll be a very fun matchup to watch, to look forward to. But I do believe that Paddy Pimblett's going to win this one. I like Jordan Leavitt, and sure, he could be improving and all of this and all of that, and I know a lot of fighters do improve, but when you watch the fights of Jordan Leavitt, I'm kind of looking at him fighting right now. His stand-up is so unthreatening, and I think people really underrate the skills of Paddy Pimblett on the feet a little bit. And I also feel like they underrate his ground game more, though. He's got some skills on the feet. Sure, he is open defensively. I truly believe, to this point, Luigi Vendramini is the best opponent Paddy Pimblett has taken on. I think Leavitt would lose to Luigi Vendramini. Luigi Vendramini was a very underrated guy. He lost going up to welterweight and fighting like Alessio Zaleski dos Santos on short notice. Like, he didn't lose to Cans in the UFC. Like, he's a good fighter, a very capable fighter. But I don't see Jordan Leavitt being able to do anything with the grappling against Paddy Pimblett. I really don't see it. And it's just his stand-up, man. His stand-up is so unthreatening in any way. I don't think he can put Pimblett in enough pressure whatsoever, or under enough pressure to make a mistake to where he can capitalize on it at all. I really don't see that. Jordan Leavitt's going to go out there. He's going to be on the back foot early on, I do believe, throwing little inside leg kicks and moving around. His first fight in front of a big crowd, that's a big deal. Paddy Pimblett mentioned that in his last interview as well. I watched that one. He mentioned this is Jordan Leavitt's first fight in front of a massive crowd. True. And not only is it a massive crowd, it's a Paddy Pimblett in UFC London crowd. It's a UFC London crowd. Then on top of it, it's a Paddy Pimblett fight UFC London crowd. This is the first time that Jordan Leavitt's been under the spotlight, and it's a massive... There are title fights that will have less crowd atmosphere than this matchup. There are like women's title fights that the crowd will be dead silent for. But this is a massive matchup, and I feel as though under the pressure, Jordan Leavitt's going to freeze up, shoot some bad takedowns on Paddy Pimblett, get those takedowns stuffed, and I feel like Paddy Pimblett's going to get this one done by TKO on the feet with a brutal knockout. I can just see Jordan Leavitt going out there, tapping inside leg kicks at range, throwing a couple jabs out there that don't really mean anything. And when Luigi Vendramini was playing that game early on and being very patient, Pimblett was landing some good shots. I feel like I might do a UFC debut review for Paddy Pimblett, because I did one before on my channel, but I haven't done it in ages. And I made my second channel, so I feel like I'm going to do it on the second channel, the MMA Guru Clips. If you want to go and check out some stuff there, I just made a Tom Aspinall video breaking down his win over Alexander Volkov on there when I used a fight film in the background and go through it with you guys and break it down. But I'm going to do a UFC debut review on my second channel, I believe, because Paddy Pimblett has some good striking techniques. Like, he'll throw a good front kick to the body, and then he'll mix it into like a lead leg question mark kick. Looks like a front kick, whips over the top and lands on the head. He's got good moves like that on the feet, and I feel like Jordan Leavitt just has none of those moves. And you can arguably give Trey Ogden the win in their matchup that they had together, because Jordan Leavitt was like winning in positional control. And Trey Ogden's a guy who's been submitted a few times before as well, but he was winning in positional control. And Ogden was arguably doing more damage than him in that matchup. Jordan Leavitt, in my opinion, is a stepping stone for Paddy Pimblett here. I think that's the reason why the UFC made this matchup. I reckon they were thinking of doing him versus Ottoman Azaitar, and they were like, hang on a second, let's get him one more win at UFC London, you know what I'm saying? And also, Ottoman Azaitar was not ready for the fight, completely out of shape if you look at his Instagram around the time of this fight being announced. But either way, Jordan Leavitt looked good in his last fight. It was a very close fight. I just feel as though he hasn't got anything, to be honest with you. Matt Sales, and Pimblett did break this down like he's been watching my videos before. Matt Sales ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? Claudio Puelles was able to get one over on Jordan Leavitt and just out-scramble him and win the positional control. But Sales ain't the best at all. And that's a really bad level fighter right there. And sure, Jordan Leavitt submitted him in the second round, but, you know, in the first round, he didn't have his own way there. It was just sort of like a tit-for-tat round, really. Like, nothing really happened. And I feel like Paddy Pimblett's going to force Leavitt to a very high-paced matchup. And I just don't see Leavitt controlling that. I feel like he's going to break under pressure. And I think Pimblett's going to catch him with a flying knee against the cage, follow up with an uppercut to the chin, put him away badly, and get a nice little teabag finish, in my opinion. Very good matchup for Paddy Pimblett. I just don't see the threats from Jordan Leavitt. He could slam Pimblett to the ground like he did to Matt Wyman. But again, Matt Wyman's an older guy, a way, way older guy. And I just saw the weigh-ins as well. If you look at the weigh-in face-offs, I told you guys, Pimblett, who used to be a featherweight, is a weirdly big lightweight. He is a weirdly big lightweight. And I was looking at the weigh-ins today, and he is so much bigger than Jordan Leavitt. And it's not even a case of, oh, you know, but Jordan Leavitt's a bit, like, thicker than him. No, Paddy Pimblett's thicker. He's more built than Jordan Leavitt is. And he's taller. And he's got longer arms. He's more strong as well. He's more explosive. I just feel as though this is a bad recipe for a bad loss for Jordan Leavitt. Pimblett's got a bigger head as well. And I think the pressure's on. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel as though Jordan Leavitt isn't the type of... Let's just say... I don't think he's the type of guy who's going to thrive under that pressure. Let's just say that. Even at the weigh-ins, he was looking around afterwards like... You know what I mean? And it was just like... is this guy going to be reptilian-brained? Because he's coming out first, I believe, as well. Because he's the challenger in this situation. If you walk up to the cage first, I'm pretty sure you're the guy walking out first. I think that's how it works. So he's coming out first. And he's going to be in the cage. Freezing cold, oh, it's quite hot in the UK, so it won't be that cold, but it's going to be a bit weird. He'll be in the cage, standing around, while Paddy Pimblett does his amazing walkout, and the whole crowd goes crazy, and he probably can't even hear anything. And then Pimblett comes out and then starts staring at him in that way, across the cage with his eyes wide. I just feel as though Leavitt's going to crumble under that moment. He does have a good chance. He has got good grappling. But I've watched Paddy Pimblett grapple with, like, this is the thing about Paddy Pimblett. Like, he actually has had some really tough fights outside of the UFC. You know what I'm saying? I've watched Paddy Pimblett, who is currently the age of, I'll find it right now, 27. Okay? He's 27 years of age. I've watched him when he was 24, 25, grapple for 5 rounds with a broken hand against Soren Bak. Soren Bak is really good, and Pimblett was winning the first round of that fight with a broken hand. He couldn't submit Soren Bak. He had his back. He was sinking in the choke and all that. Soren Bak is 16-1. He only lost 1 fight to some random guy in 2016. But since then, right now, I believe, what, is he on a 3-fight win streak at Bellator now? Like, he's doing good himself. And Pimblett's very underrated in that way. You know, he was fighting Nad Narimani in 2017, and Nad Narimani eventually went on to the UFC. He was going in there against Julian Erosa, and they had a back-and-forth grappling match, and Julian Erosa was like a UFC... he came out of the UFC, now he's back in the UFC, he has a win over Charles Jourdain. So, like, he's fought some pretty underrated guys early on in his career. And I just feel as though it's going to be a bad night for Jordan Leavitt. I think people underrate the grappling skill of Paddy Pimblett. I don't see Leavitt out-grappling him here. And I really don't see him winning on the feet either. And I think there's such a disparity on the feet. It's just a recipe for a brutal finish from Paddy Pimblett on the feet. He's really dangerous. He's got big power. He's a big guy for the division. Could this backfire on me as a prediction? Yes, but I just don't see it happen. I really don't see it happening. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I think it's going to be a bad one for Leavitt. I can see him losing this one, to be honest. But he has a chance. Everyone has a chance. I just think with all of it, all of the stuff surrounding it, I worry. If Pimblett gets past this one and he fights a Jim Miller, danger. Real danger. Ottoman Azaita, danger. It's the next matchup where you're considering some underdog picks, in my opinion. If you weren't considering picking Luigi Vendramini, you shouldn't be... I didn't. It was a close fight. I thought it was risky, to be honest with you, but I'm still going to go with Paddy Pimblett. If you can get past Luigi Vendramini, who I believe would easily KO Jordan Leavitt, I think you can get past Jordan Leavitt. He's a very slow burner on the ground as well. He's not a guy who's going to immediately latch up a submission, which I think is where his chance lies. He has to, like, systematically get you in half guard, wet blanket you for a couple of rounds, and then start looking to set up some kind of submission. I feel as though Pimblett's got this one in the bag. And if he wins, I say Jim Miller jumps on and says, hey, Paddy Pimblett, me versus you, on the McGregor pay-per-view card in December, or at MSG. We'll see how quickly Pimblett wants to turn around after this. And I think this is going to be a good win from Pimblett here. A really good win. Looking forward to the matchup. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's so tense, though. I'm still going to be feeling the nerves. Even though I think Pimblett's going to win, I'm still going to be feeling the nerves because the consequences for him losing here, you can't recover. There's no recovery after this. If you lose to Leavitt and get submitted and out cold, because I doubt you'll tap. He didn't tap earlier in his career when he was a child. So I doubt he's going to tap this time. If you lose to Jordan Leavitt and get tapped and slept, and then he's twerking on you in London, I don't know if you guys know about the attitudes of Scousers towards that type of behavior from men. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit interesting. That's all I'll say. A little bit interesting. Who knows? Maybe Molly McCann will fucking jump up and flail around a pride flag if Leavitt wins, but I don't know, dude. I feel like even Scousers will reject him if he loses this one in that fashion and that happens afterwards. It's risky. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip, I'll see you later. And I'll be making a video on Paddy Pimblett's debut on my second channel tomorrow. The MMA Guru clips. Check it out. It's on my channel features on my channel. Toodle pip. See you later. Goodbye.